This is the Mayerco Machete axe combination. According to the manufacturer, was designed by Blackie Collins, founder of Blade magazine, and although I haven't opened it yet, as you can see, I anticipate it has the potential to be perhaps the best camp machete ever existed. I am planning to compare it with a couple other knives that I have in hand and determine if there is any improvement over the standard design of the Ontario Pilot's Machete, which is the camper machete. This is the sheath it comes with. It has a semi-rigid insert sewn onto the nylon, and it looks as simple as any other nylon sheath, but I believe this sheath functions as a plastic insert, preventing it to get wet and therefore preventing the formation of rust spots on the blade while stored in the sheath. This is how the machete comes, sharpened from factory. As you can see, it takes very strong cues from the Ontario Pilot's Machete. It is slightly longer and definitely thicker. It's about twice as thick as the Ontario Machete. As you can see, it's essentially the same tool with some improvements. The first one is the material that covers the handle. This part is rigid, and the part that goes in contact with your hand has a rubbery feeling. This finger choil improves a lot maneuverability, and I have found that the D-guard on a machete is a huge improvement over the open handle. The handle on the Mayerco is slightly bigger than the handle on the Ontario Pilot's Machete, and it is also a lot more comfortable. What I have found to be unusual is that this blade, being larger and thicker, feels a lot lighter than the one on the Pilot's Machete. My best bet is that it feels that way because the handle is larger. On the Mayerco, you can see the tang that is almost as long as the whole handle. It comes from the factory with this lanyard that is about twice as thick as a paracord. Okay, let's talk about some specs about this knife. Blade length is almost 13 inches. Blade thickness is a solid 3/16 of an inch, which is about 6 millimeters. It is made in 420 stainless steel, which is nice because you're gonna keep the finishing of the blade. The weight on this machete is about 19.4 ounces. Compared with the Ontario that is only 15. It has a very nice touch on the blade, which is this rounding that helps you to grab it a bit uncomfortably but choke the blade this way to detail work. I find it very nice. The finishing is not the best, as you can see. There are two gaps between the blade and the handle. The screws are Phillips with hex nuts, which is nice in my opinion because you can take it apart to clean it, and in case they get lost, you can easily replace them. There's a very thick texture on the handle, and as I said, this part is rubbery, which I think is fantastic. I've been using the Ontario Pilot's Machete until now, and I have found that the specs of the Mayerco are much better. According to the manufacturer, it has a lifetime warranty, which make it a good investment so far, and now I'm going to test it to see if there is some blade chipping and other flaws that had been reported, at least with the first batch of these machetes. So far, I like it a lot. It's a great investment for the price, and let's see what happens.